All right, so Danish actress Sally. I don't really know how to speak Danish. I don't know how to say her name. But she has just been cast for season 2 of the show. She's been flown out to Prague, and she will be joining the cast. She seems like a pretty prominent character for them to announce the casting. I don't know. They've also announced some like secondary characters as well. I'm hoping she's sort of a main character. A lot of the community is sort of speculating that this could be ELAYNE. This is how people see like ELAYNE in their eyes when they, like envision the books and stuff like that. But I think looks can be pretty deceiving. Before we get more into it, guys, I would love if you guys subscribed and liked the video, and below I want you to comment who you think this could be, and we might come to like the same conclusion, but let's get into it. So I think the casting at first glance, when you look at it, you could think that it is ELAYNE. I don't think that would work at all for the show. So if the show is going to be covering Eye of the World and The Great Hunt, that means we're not going to get ELAYNE in the first half of the series, which would be Eye of the World, which I could see how they would kind of like do that. I think that you could kind of skip her because she doesn't have a huge part in the Eye of the World, but she definitely has a prominent part in The Great Hunt and in what goes on. This could totally be a part that Rafe Judkins does cut and maybe combine characters together to work out, because I know that they're probably not going to do, I don't know, it's speculating, so like don't take this as gospel. I don't know if they're going to do all of the romantic relationships that Rand has in the books. I think it's just going to be men, and I think he's gonna have a little bit thing with like Aviendha. It's so special in the books of how that relationship and how all of that. I have thunder, so I have to wait. I think it's very special in the books how that relationship with the 3 girls and him actually does work, because it's not all rainbows and butterflies and people are like, oh, just like I love Rand and he gets to have all these women. Min is the prominent romantic relationship that he does have. Spoiler alert, if you don't know, I'm obviously going to get into spoilers here. He does have children with ELAYNE, and he does sleep with Aviendha, and I think that stuff could still be in the series, but I think the relationship that he does have is with Min, because that relationship is so special to the series as a whole. For him to just have a relationship with men and then have, all the other stuff that happens with the women, I think that'll still happen. But I'm getting off on a tangent here. What I think is actually happening is this is the first beginning of them filming season 2. So that means with season 2, they're going to have the next 2 books, which is The Dragon Reborn and The Shadow Rising. Obviously, a romantic relationship that is introduced in Shadow Rising is Aviendha. So I don't think Prague is the location that they're going to be filming the Aiel Waste like at all. I think they're going to have to change locations, and I think that we'll see that in the coming months. I think that they're bringing this Danish actress. I don't want to keep like butchering her name. Sally, I believe that's how you would say it. I think they're bringing her on at Prague right now to get her ready to be reading over the script and stuff like that, so she could be ready to play Aviendha, who will be a key figure in the second half of filming, since we are covering the Shadow Rising probably within that season. So with all of this news and everything going on, I'm just going to keep having like a healthy skepticism and trust that Rafe Judkins does have the source material in mind, and that he's going to be trying to follow as close as he can to the series. Even though if you might think of it, like Brandon Sanderson, as a new turning of the wheel, so events will be different, I think Rafe is still going to stick pretty close to the source material. He said himself that he is going to stick close to the source material as much as possible. So I don't think they're going to completely cut ELAYNE, because I think ELAYNE is one of those key figures. I think with the Forsaken, you could definitely split the Forsaken in half, which I think Rafe has already said that he's going to do. I think with Galad and Gawain, I think they're going to make him like one character, because you don't really need both of them. I don't want to get in a whole like Galad and Gawain like discussion right now. I can make a whole nother video for that, so I didn't mean to spark anything with that or the Forsaken. If you guys would like to see a video about that, I would love to talk about it, so leave it in the comments below. I'm going to be making a whole series going over all of the books again, probably leading up to the show, starting with New Spring this week and then leading all the way up until November each week. So if you would love to see that, I'm going to be going over the books again and talking about them and just really having an open discussion, so I would love to hear from you guys about that. I don't think it would be ELAYNE at all. I think like the problem that people would think is her hair. Her hair is very blonde. It's not this reddish color that we sort of get in the books. And typically I don't have a problem with characters' appearances when it comes to casting. I think as long as they do a great performance, it doesn't really matter like the color of their skin or, you know, whatever. It's when it becomes like when hair color is sort of like important. And of course you can just put on a wig for that. Like, okay, you can just put on a wig and change the hair color, because that's something that Robert Jordan discussed in his books. It was something that the IEO people had and was specific to them, was the red hair, because that's what Rand has. Rand has that red hair that's of those people. So that's how we know he has IEO blood in him. It's one of those things, little tangent, that it's an important detail. Like Brandon Sanderson in his books, they have a class system based on eye color. So when you cast these people for, if they do a which I think they will, a Stormlight Archive show, it's important to cast people who are going to have these dark eyes and who are going to have these light eyes. Doesn't matter their skin color or anything like that. It just matters, like, that is a key detail that does matter within the books. In the same way, I think is a key detail that matters here, specifically because Rand's heritage, it comes with that red hair, and he's Aiel. Or part Aiel. So for Salih, if she is going to be Aviendha, I think it would be important for her to have that red hair. I don't think that's a hot take. I know like there was casting controversy with who they had based on race. You can watch plenty of videos of why that's all debunked and stuff like that. I don't want to have that debate here. I think as long as you do a great performance, it is going to be awesome. It's because people would typically think with these sort of books, it's more of a European sort of like descent, but we know from the books and stuff like that, this is like centuries beyond our time, and there's probably a lot of mingling that has gone on and stuff like that. But the Dusty Wheel and Daniel Green do a better job explaining that than I could. They have a great video on it. You should go watch it. But I think that is a key detail that does matter in the books, is the hair color. So I would just want to see that from them. Besides, if they don't do it, not the end of the world. If she has a great performance, that'll be okay. It's just a detail that would be like, ooh, like I'm upset that they missed that, because that's something that was important in Robert Jordan's works. Yeah, but yeah, that's basically like the video in synopsis. I believe that Salih is not ELAYNE, because I think ELAYNE is going to have to be introduced to stay true to the source material. She's going to have to be introduced in the first season, if not the second half of the first season. So I don't think that's going to work to bring her on so late, because they're already filming the first half of season 2 right now. So that means, are we not going to get ELAYNE for 3 like books worth of like material? Like, I don't think that's what it is. I think they're bringing her on now and then get her used to the cast and stuff like that, and get her adjusted. So, and then when they go to film the Aiel Waste, she'll be Aviendha. She'll be used to everybody, and that's how it'll be. I hate that they leave it so vague, but it's for us to discuss like what's going on. That's why I love it. So they're leaving it open so we can talk about it, and it just creates a buzz in the community, and you know, I love that sort of thing. But would love to hear from you guys. Be sure to comment what you think in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps grow my channel a lot, and I want to bring awareness to the show and stuff for people that don't know, and just build like some fun material for people to just like hop on real quick and watch what's you know, to get caught up on the show and what people maybe have forgotten about the book series, or new people who are trying to get in. So we'd love you guys to support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.